Morning, people. How's it going? Well, it's not morning. It's actually, I don't know, mid late afternoon. So, what are we talking about today? Um, Sorry about not posting one of these the last couple of days. I hated humanity too much to do so. I also don't have my teeth in at the moment. Sorry about that. So, let's talk about addiction for a minute. My family, on my father's side, has, I guess you could say, a genetic predisposition towards addictions, specifically drugs and alcohol. My grandfather was most likely a bipolar, who was a severe bipolar, probably self medicating himself with wine. He was an alcoholic, he was drinking way too much wine, but he was probably also bipolar, considering the majority of my cousins have some kind of related mental illness. I'm bipolar type 2 rapid recycler. Um, it's pretty likely that, in fact, it was passed on, both the addiction predisposition and the uh, mental illness. So, how does that fit into addiction? Well, most of my family has dealt with it in one way or another. Um, some of my cousins have had terrible. Sorry about blocking the camera here. I have to adjust my seating because the sun is killing me. Um, they their lives have been ruined. My life was almost ruined with alcohol. When I was about 18, I had a busy 17, 18, 19 period. It was pretty crazy. A lot of experiences packed into a really tiny period of time. I had tried offing myself. It had ended dramatically, and I started getting drunk every day. I had a friend who was rather liberal in providing alcohol, and so I was drunk a lot. I wanted to be drunk by noon every day, and it took another one of my friends to finally tell me to grow the fuck up and stop doing that. I don't like drinking now. Um, but I've seen a lot of people's lives destroyed by alcohol and by drugs. Which leads me to, I mean, this is very obviously an addiction. I'm not even going to deny that. Yep. I could probably quit, but it'd be hard. I've quit before. I quit for 7 months. My brother tried offing himself. I started it up again. A moment of weakness led to this again. It's not good for you. I don't recommend it. I think people who attack the smokers, and lately this whole truth about tobacco, which, by the way, there's no truth in any of those ads. Um, it's bullshit. It's more profitable for the government to encourage such campaigns because, well, the war on terror hadn't made enough money. The war on drugs, we lost. Period. End of story. And, Cold War's over for now. So, that's what that's about. But gaming and gaming addictions. This is something that is getting to be a thing, and the media is blowing it a lot out of proportions. An addiction, at least by, I guess you could say, a reasonable definition, is compulsive, harmful behavior. Needing to do something that is detrimental to your life. Some people have accused me of being addicted to video games. I don't think I am. I play a lot of video games, certainly. It's safe to say that I play games every day. I play games more now than I ever did when I was younger and before I became a gimp. I can't take pain pills because they effectively do nothing for the pain that I'm in every day. And also, it doesn't help the fact that when I was younger and I tried offing myself, I used pain pills. And so my body doesn't like them very much. But yeah, I can't take pain pills. And as much as I'd like to say I'm strong enough to just resist the pain all the time, I'm not. Nobody is. Nobody can be in pain all the time and not be miserable or insane or psychotic or terribly depressed. Everybody is. If you're in pain, if you've been in pain, if you have chronic pain, you are, by definition, depressed. Does that mean you need to be on antidepressants? No, not necessarily. Antidepressants are a tool. They can be addictive in and of themselves, physiologically as well as psychologically. And they offer you a little bit of slack while you develop stress management and emotional control techniques. Goddamn lighters. That being said, I play video games to keep the pain at bay. I'm in pain every day all the time. It hurts to wear clothing, in fact. It just hurts. Doesn't matter what state or what activities I do, I just hurt all the time. And video games, usually, sometimes they don't, distract my brain enough from my body to allow me to regain my self-control, regain my ability to endure, lower my anxiety levels enough to continue on doing whatever I do during the day. They help me retain my humanity, if you want to call it that. So, it's understandable that people would consider me sometimes to be a gaming addict. I'm not a gaming addict, but I do know people who have been terrible gaming addicts. I have a friend who had clients all over the county, all over multiple counties. And unfortunately, he got addicted to World of Warcraft, which was a fairly common thing, actually. I don't know how commonly people are addicted to World of Warcraft now, but for many, many years, it was a big thing. Big addiction, big problem. He now has a handful of clients. He stopped playing World of Warcraft. He stopped playing a lot of games. But he's still recovering from that period of his life. He's still financially in quite a bind because of that period of time in his life. I'm proud of him for overcoming it. But his personality's still changed. It's not the same person that I met and became great friends with. He's still a great friend. He's just not the same as he was. It's like recovered meth addicts. They're never quite the same. Recovered heroin addicts. They're never quite the same. I think it's safe to say if you've overcome an addiction, you have to change as a person to stay free of it. Sometimes those changes are good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes they're just sad. So, What about game addiction? The media says it's a terrible, big pandemic that everybody's facing right now and is going to destroy our youth and destroy our millennials and blah, 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 blah. Well, the news is pretty much a vile, corruptible entity. They're out there for ratings, they're out there for sensationalism, and anything that sounds dramatic or terrifying is their bread and butter. Also, it doesn't help that they're pretty much a political tool by whatever organization happens to run them. In this state, it's the goddamn Mormons. So, is it as big as we think it is? No, probably not. Facebook and Twitter are probably more severe problems. And there's a lot of people that are spend tons of time on Facebook and Twitter, but are not, in fact, addicted to those particular social networks. Although there is an addiction for it. You know, everything is addictive. Everything. Pornography. Alcohol. Ice cubes. Anything. Anything you do in life can be addictive. Fitness can be addictive. Going to the spa or gym, whatever, fitness center, they're compulsory. If it's an addiction over a lifestyle choice, is a fine, fine line. The question, is it genuinely destructive? If you work in a career, like more than a job, something with benefits, something with a retirement, something with a good potential for promotion, and something that you can work at for 10, 20 years, that's a career. And if whatever your thing is threatens to take that away from you, or destroy your marriage, or whatever, to take you away from your duties as a parent, then it's an addiction, and then it's destructive. The need for attention can become an addiction quite easily, and it's far, far more destructive than most people would assume. Everybody wants attention. Everybody wants to be validated. But when you're destroying relationships, or your job, or your marriage, because of your compulsive seeking of attention, that's a problem. I'm not going to name any names, but I know some people who are very, very, very obsessed with attention. It's an addiction. It absolutely is an addiction, and it's absolutely destructive. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time with addiction in general. I'm not afraid to sound like a hypocrite and say that I can't stand being around drunk people. It makes me very sad that they're destroying their life with it. My father's psyche was terribly strained growing up because his father basically gave all of his attention to a wine bottle. He didn't really express love or pride or all the rest that you would expect a father to do. He was a terrible father. I don't want to be around drunks because of it. I don't want to be around drug addicts because of it. Drug addiction is a terrible thing. Alcohol addiction is a terrible thing. Addiction is a terrible thing. God, it's fucking hot today. But if you believe gaming addictions as big of a thing as you think it might be, you should look at the other things that are going on in life. How much time do people spend on Facebook and Twitter? How is their ability to socially interact face to face affected by their period of time on the Twitter or the Facebook? I don't know. It's a good question. But I think we're out of time, and this wasn't nearly as poignant as I'd hoped it'd be. So enjoy! See you next time.